Okay. Let me tell you. Facebook was so much easier. Okay. Trying this again. Make sure my phone doesn't fall out. Looks like I'm in the right orientation, but let's see. This is take 527. Okay. Whoops. Trying to find myself on YouTube. So before I create all these cards again, and oh boy. Bear with me, everyone. Please. Okay, let me switch accounts. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh, I found myself. Yay. Okay. Yay. So excited. Okay, so this is take 2. Let me turn on my light. Okay. I can hear myself. I see myself. Right orientation. Okay. These are my July cards. This is my second video in recording these cards. First one had a noise, didn't know what it was, and turns out that it was my fan blowing into the microphone. So, no fan on, got the mic charged, phone's charged, and we're ready to go. So these are our 3 cards. We're going to go ahead and start with card number 1. First, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Tanya. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You could find my shopping site at mspoo.stampinup.net. And we're getting ready to have our holiday catalog. It will launch September 1st. So if you would like a catalog, please make sure you go to my shopping site, create an account if you have not already done so. Make sure you opt in for everything so I am able to mail you a catalog directly from Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up has rewards. You earn 10% of everything you spend before tax back in credit that you can use on your next order. So, great program they have. Okay, so this is card number 1. Let me put it over here. This is called a bendy card. So let me make sure I am in range. Hopefully I don't drop my phone. Gonna lift up a little bit. Still hear me? I didn't turn off anything. Sorry. Okay. So this is a bendy card. I got this from Simple Stamping. What's her name? Connie Stewart, I believe. So you can get the recipe. This is where I kind of got the dimensions and the idea. The vertical or the portrait style one that she makes doesn't stand up. I couldn't get it to stand up. So this is the landscape version. It folds flat and goes into your envelope. This is the back. So you will have you'll have a little bow that I tied for you. A piece of black cardstock that is 5.5 by 4.25, standard A2 card size, but it's just one piece. You have 2 pieces of strawberry slush that's 4 by 2.5. You have 2 pieces that go on the back for your sentiment and signature. That is 4 by 2.5. Scrap with for the butterfly, your card front, which is 6 by 3.75 and scored at a 1/2 inch on both sides, and your envelope. And set that aside. We're going to go ahead and start coloring. And this time I'm actually going to use strawberry slush. Dark and light. And I'm going to use dark and light old olive. I'm going to use Darling Duckling and Timid Tiger. Of the Stampin' Blends. Oh, and this color is discontinued. So I'm going to go ahead and use this is Pecan Pie. So that's not even the right color. So dark and light Pecan Pie for the cone. And I think that is it. Oh, I'll need for the body. Let's see. I will go ahead and use that Secret Sea. I didn't realize that I used Pebble Path, and that's a discontinued color. So I'll use dark smoky slate for the butterfly body. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the dark strawberry slush. These are the Stampin' Blends. It's bullet tip on one side and brush tip on the other. And I'm just going to go over all the lines with the dark. And then on the inside, I'm just going to go ahead and color that dark. Because this is where it'd be shaded a little bit darker. And I'm going to bring out the dark around the top of the cone. I don't know what the centerpiece of this flower is called. I know it's not called cone. I just called it cone, and I don't know why I did that. So if anybody pops in, say hi or give me a thumbs up so I know you're here or somebody's here. Okay. And then I'm going to fill it in with the strawberry slush. And to blend it, I find it best to go in a circular motion. That way it kind of blends out your lines and you don't get a harsh bold streak of color. So I'm hosting my very first kit together. I was trying to do it for July, but the kit that I chose for July never came back in stock yet. So I changed the date and chose a new kit for August. And it's the last Saturday in August, which I believe is the 23rd. I have one spot left. I ordered the kits already. And the kit is in my possession. They arrived yesterday. And I'll be serving a light lunch, snacks, beverages, and you'll get a thank you gift for me. And the cost is $30 for this kit together. The kit together prices will vary based on the kit's cost because kit prices change depending on what the kit is. So this we'll be making 3 different cards, 3 of each of 3 different cards. Sorry, I just don't feel like it's blended well. So I'm just going to kind of go back over it. And I have decided to switch over to the Stampin' Up! Ink pads exclusively. So I'll be selling off my Close to My Heart ink pads. I don't have all of the ink refills, but I'll be posting that on my Facebook page before I go to an outside page. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move to the stem. And this is the dark. I want to make sure it's the dark. It is Old Olive. And I'm just going to go over the lines and add a little bit of color at the right under the flower there. And then I'm going to just do the lines here. You know, when you're coloring, make sure you turn your paper of what you're coloring to where it's more comfortable, because sometimes if you don't, you end up making mistakes. Okay, and now the light. I'm just gonna go over it, get in a circular motion. Going to check and make sure my sound is still good. And I am still got sound. I remember a couple months ago I recorded a video, got all the way finished, and had no sound at the end. Got to redo it again. We haven't done many cards that require coloring, so this is kind of a nice change. Okay, then I'm going to do the dark pecan pie around the edge of the centerpiece. And then I'm going to blend it out with the light. I had a couple months ago, I had ceiling fans installed upstairs in the bedrooms. And this month, I had a ceiling fan installed here in my craft space. And that's what, so now we're done coloring. So that's what was blowing. Not even in view here. Okay. So let's bring in the butterfly and get that colored up. I'm going to color it slightly different than my sample. Wanted to add a little bit more yellow, so I'm going to color this here. And I'm just outlining it at the top of where I want and at the very bottom with the dark. Darling Duckling. Hope that was the dark, yep. And then I'm going to fill that in with the light. And then bring this dark one, and I'm going to hit this space right here with the yellow. And then I'm going to bring in the dark Timid Tiger and do the same. Just going to go around the top edge like so. This is with the dark. And then here. And around the edge. So if you're interested in coming into my home the last Saturday of this month here in Riverside, and this for this last kit that's available, let me know. Again, it's $30. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to go ahead and color the body with the smoky slate. And then I'm going to add some little dots with the black gel pen. This is just a Sharpie gel pen. And I'm just going to add a little bit of dots. to the edge of the butterfly wings. If you have a white gel pen will work too. Or you don't even have to do anything. So I'm gonna just set that aside for just a second so it can dry and I don't smudge it. And then we're gonna go ahead and just start assembling our card. Take your little bone folder. And we're gonna take and fold back on these creases here. And give it a good crease with your bone folder. And then we are going to take this crease here and we're going to fold it in this way. So we're going to turn that valley into a mountain, as they call it. Okay. So this is the back side of your card. And we're going to go ahead and, let's see, add our pieces. Let's just start gluing. This is the back side. Okay. And this is just going to center. Give yourself about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, just like a standard border that we typically do. Just make sure you got your top and your bottom and your side here lined up. And then the opposite side, you want to make sure that your bottom and your top match up so it's not crooked. Okay. And try to give yourself the same amount of border, top, bottom, and sides, just like so. Okay. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to bring in some tear and tape. If you don't have tear and tape, you can use your liquid adhesive. But you're going to take your tear and tape. This is not Stampin' Up's tear and tape. This is just some that I have had. I've been using this for a lot of years, this brand here. Oh, one thing I did forget to do before I put that down, which is fine, is we need to come in and miter cut this. So you're going to just cut from this side of your paper at the top to the end, like so. This side of your fold, and just cut the corner off. This side of your fold to the inside of, there you go. Okay, so you should look like this. And when it's folded, you don't have your corners cut off. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove. No. Getting ahead of myself. We need to glue our strawberry slush down. And just like the back, we're just going to line it up, making sure we're even. to make sure that both pieces line up together. Like so. Give yourself the top and bottom border that you on both sides are pretty even, like so. There we go. Okay. Making sure I still have sound. Top and bottom. Perfect, perfect. So far, so good. Okay, now we're going to come in here and take off our backing. Now this, you're going to fold in the sides, and we're going to lay this down center, giving yourself about the same amount of border, 1/8 of an inch, all the way around. And then give it a good press. And you have it. So by cutting the miter cuts on the sides, you can see how on the inside, you don't see it when you're looking at the card. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and fussy cut this little guy out. And the butterfly here will be popped up. And this stamp set that we're using today is called Coneflower Celebrations. It's this one here. My birds are very chatty this morning. I appreciate all of my card class takers. I thank you very much for being so patient with me with learning this new format of recording. Okay, so I'm taking my thumb and I'm just kind of rolling up the edges of my wings. I'm going to take one dimensional here, put it on the back of my butterfly. And you're going to place your butterfly right here off to the side. Now you can take your bow, place your bow wherever you choose. I just had it right underneath my flower. I'm going to use a glue dot, but you can use your liquid adhesive. And just set something kind of heavy on it to hold it in place. So this was the gingham black and vanilla gingham, which was not, it was on the wall supplies last list, but it has since sold out since I created these kits. So there you go. There is card number 1. Oh, forgot the bling. The bling-a-ding-ding. Where did I put it? Here it is. So you have 3 little blings. They're from the Strawberry Slush gems. What are they called? They're called Strawberry Slush and Pretty Pink Gems. So it's kind of an ombre. the strawberry slush, pretty in pink, and then you have clear with gold. Everyone's, you got 3 various size, or either the strawberry slush or the pretty in pink. Okay. Now we're going to add our little gems. Like so. Well, it would help if I'm trying to pick it up from the right side. It's upside down. Okay, now we're finished. Okay. So there's card number 1. And it will fold flat. So you could put it in your envelope. You'll probably encounter a little bit of extra postage if you mail it because of this bow. It folds pretty flat. Might get away with using just 1 stamp. I guess it just depends on the mood of the postmaster that day. So this completes card number 1. Card number 2, I believe, was this one. Oops. Guess it doesn't really matter. So this one here has a lot of bits and pieces. So let's just empty it out. Oh, I guess I should show you what card number 2. Here's card number 2. Make sure I still have sound. I do. So far, so good. I'm so excited. God's with me this morning. Okay. So this is card number 2. It is a top folding card. So you'll have 3 strips. These are 4.5 by 1 inch strips. A piece sentiment. You have a piece of fresh freesia. This is like the velvet cord. You have blackberry bliss. This piece here, also die cut from the comb flower stamp set. This is what the dies look like. That's the die. Scrap with butterfly. You got 3 flings, and you have 2 of these. I don't know what they're called, but a piece of filler. 2 of large and a small in the blackberry bliss, and then this is pretty pink. And you have a 4 3/4 by 3.5 piece of white, basic white. This is 4 by 5.5 fresh freesia. 4 by 5.5 white. That will go inside your blackberry bliss cardstock or card base and your envelope. And you have 1 little strip here that is 4 by 1/2, and this will go at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get the inside piece laid down. You can use either side, the floral or the fresh freesia side. I think take one, I put the fresh freesia side down. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the floral side down. I like the way these little flowers look. I like leaving a tiny little border of white at the bottom. That's just my personal preference. Okay, and then we can just glue this piece down on the inside. Feel like I have a little bit of a clog in my glue. What's new? And you'll have a little bit of a border, like 1/8 of an inch all the way around, like so. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and crease this down a little bit. Now on these little pieces here, there's little tiny spots that may not have poked out. The centers of these little baby's breath or whatever this is. This came from, this die set came from Unbounded Love, which I believe I don't know if the bundle is on Last Chance or if this whole set's on Last Chance, but it was still in stock. I think it's the bundle that is Last Chance, which a bundle gives you 10% savings when you buy the die and the stamp set together. Okay. So in my last video, I spoke about it, but I follow Dawn Griffin. I've been following her a lot of years. She's probably one of the first YouTubers, her and Jennifer McGuire, that I started following for card making or this, stamping and stuff. Yeah, so, but she shared where if you take wax paper and rub your cardstock and then you die cut, the dies fall out much easier and they don't get stuck inside the die. So, I did it with this and it worked pretty well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and to get rid of some of our stuff here, we're going to color last. So let's go ahead and glue our strips down. So you're going to take 2 of one and then the opposite side of the third. And we're going to line it up on your white piece here. That is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So you pick the 2 you want upside showing, and then the opposite side will be the fresh freesia, which will be in the center. Or you could do, the single piece will be in the center, I should say. So, and make sure your direction is your flowers are going in the right direction because this is directional paper. So we're going to go ahead and start by gluing our ends to get down. I find it's easier to line it up that way. So you're going to give yourself about a 1/8 of an inch border, bottom and your side, making sure you're as straight as possible. And you're going to take your second piece that you want facing up and you're going to do the opposite side. Again, making sure your direction is going the right way. You're going to match your bottom and your top and make sure you have the same 1/8 of an inch or whatever size you gave yourself on the opposite side. You want to match that to the best you can. So then your piece looks like that. And then you're going to take the opposite side and you're going to glue that one down in the center, matching your top and your bottom with your two ends and giving the space between your centerpiece and your two sides about equal distance, like so. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and then glue this down to the fresh freesia. And this, you're going to give yourself about 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. It's a little bit larger of a layer. Like so. And then we can go ahead and glue this onto our card base. Making sure we're gluing down the right side. And then this, you're going to give yourself roughly 1/8 of an inch border, like so. So now we have those pieces out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and take our fresh freesia cord here, or ribbon. It's like a velvety ribbon. And we're going to thread it through these little holes. You go in the first and you'll be going in the last. So it's pretty good that they gave the correct, the proper amount of holes to do that. That would drive me crazy if I went in on one side and came out on the other side. I probably wouldn't have done this. I thought this gave a something different of an element. Now you have plenty of ribbon. You can even tie a bow, but I don't find that this ribbon ties bows very nice. That's just my opinion, because it's different on one side. And then you're going to take your snips and you're going to cut it pretty close to the end. Like so. And then you're going to add your glue to the back of the ribbon. Okay. And then roughly not a little more than 1/4 of the way up from the bottom, we're going to just glue this across. And it will go from end to end of your fresh freesia layer. And then just give it a nice press If you have something heavy like a block, you can lay down on it. That'll help. That, or just hold it for a second, just for the glue to adhere to the paper, like so. Okay. Next, you're going to take your sentiment piece, and we're going to add dimensionals on the edge, the top and the bottom edge. Set this aside. So, because the ribbon is going to go in between, like so. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead, kind of center this between these two pieces here, and your ribbon's going to go through here. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and let's just color our butterfly. I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss and Strawberry Slush. Just going to kind of keep it the same as I did with my sample. So I'm going to use the dark Blackberry Bliss. Let's see. I kind of like the way it looks. I was thinking maybe I'll change it up and put the Strawberry Slush. I think that's what I'm going to do. So on this, I did the Blackberry Bliss with the Strawberry Slush. But I'm going to, on this card, switch it. I'm going to put Strawberry Slush and Blackberry Bliss. But I'm going to color it like I did my last card, where I'm going to color this piece here, just to give it a little bit more color. This is a juicy marker. And then the light. Let's see how this comes out. I'm going to go ahead and color the body, since I have this right here. Again, with the dark smoky slate. And I'm going to take the dark and light Strawberry Slush. Coloring it the same as I did the last butterfly card previous. Just gonna, oh shoot, I meant to do that one. The Blackberry Bliss. It's okay. So like so. Put this black Blackberry Bliss piece right here. Just so kind of. Then with the light, Strawberry Slush. And make sure I still have sound. So far, so good. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Kind of like it with the coloring the other way, truthfully. But, oh well. Alrighty. Then I took my white gel pen and I added some dots to this butterfly. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of white flicks. Like so. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut this guy out. He's just glued on our sentiment, or she, he or she. So I will be deleting the first take of making these cards since the audio is horrible. But I did not want to delete it in case this, which is my last chance, because I only had one kit left, so I ended up needing to use it. Okay. Now I would recommend putting the butterfly down and then putting these guys, because the one I did yesterday on video, I didn't like the way I arranged it. And then this one, when I did it, you can't see the one that I put behind it. So if we put the butterfly, then we can make the filler pieces. So I glued it down just so we didn't have so much dimension as far as bulk in the envelope. So then we're just going to go ahead and arrange these to kind of come out behind, like so. And you just arrange them. You just need to put a little bit of glue. Oops. Someone's racing up the road. Oops, almost glued the wrong side. Yeah, this is much easier. I think looks nicer when you're able to arrange it around something instead of guessing. Yeah, I like that much better. Okay. Put my, I lost my pen for my glue. Okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and take our bling and add our bling. And this happy birthday also came from the Unbounded Love. I really love this font. There. Oh, I found my pen for my glue. Have a little glue holder, and it has a magnet so I could put my pen, and I never use it. Okay. Make sure I have sound. Oh, do. So there. What do you think? How do you like the butterfly? Pink and blackberry, the strawberry slush, this one, or the blackberry bliss? They both kind of look cute, but I still kind of think my eye favors this color combination best. Okay, so this completes card number 2. Leave a comment. Tell me which combination of the butterflies you like. So this here is card number 3. And this is using paper from the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. This is all I have left of that paper pack. I used it for July cards, and I think I used some of it in June. So this here has a little bit of an extra bonus for you. I gave you a sampling. So first you have the brass butterfly and 2 of the flat, they're called low profile dots, and it's pretty in pink and gold. So I gave you 2 of the gold and then the brass butterfly. You have these little sentiments here, which, like I said, I've given you a sampling. This comes from the stamp set called More Messages. And it is a cling mounted stamp. It's 1 piece. You stamp it, and then you line the dies up, and it cuts out all of these sentiments like I showed you. However, I didn't line it up properly, so one of them is not properly cut. But because I used my stamp platform, they were already stamped up, and so I figured this one you can use on a project and just take the flat side and line it up on the edge like so, and no one would ever know the difference. So you have that sampling, you can use on future projects. And again, if you like this stamp set, you can get it at my shopping site, MsPoohStampinup.net. Then I used the new Sunflower 3D embossing folder this is Daffodil Delight. And they're cut at 4 inches. One is cut at 1 1/4 inches. The other is cut at 1 inch. You have a strip of 4 by 1 3/4. You have a strip of 4 by 1. You have a piece of basic white, and I ink blended a little shadow of the yellow. This is a close to my heart color, but it's similar to the Daffodil Delight. You have your card base. Don't remember what color this one is off of my head. Pecan Pie. And it is going to be a side folding card. It's called a book bind fold. And you have a piece of the Very Vanilla and Black Gingham that again is no longer in stock as it's retired, and an envelope. So we're going to start by assembling, set those aside, and gluing our bind together. So let's go ahead and take your 1 inch by 4 inch. The back side is this piece. So if you want this to be your bind and this to be your centerpiece, that's kind of how it would look. So it's completely up to you. I'm gonna just kind of keep it the way I made it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my little magnet. Gonna go ahead and glue this here down, and this is going to go in between the score line and the edge fold of your card, and it's just going to center in there, giving you roughly 1/8 of an inch all the way around, give or take, like so. And there's a reason why we're doing it this way, because we need to glue this closed, but we need to assemble this piece first. Now we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to tie the end in a knot, like so. I gave you a pretty generous piece, so you should be able to do this with no problem. And then we're going to snip it in half-ish, so then it comes in a piece like so. Now, you can use tear and tape. I'm going to go ahead and use the Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use Stampin' Seal. My sample, I used Stampin' Seal. I didn't use the Plus. And we're going to open up our card. And here is the score line. Okay, so between the 2 score lines is where we're going to put our adhesive. Now, if you don't have tear and tape and you don't have Stampin' Seal, you can then glue this, the ends of your ribbons, you can tape them down with regular Scotch tape, or you can use your tear and tape, or your, and then adhesive. So I'll kind of show you what I mean. So we're going to go ahead and line our ribbon where we want our knot. We're going to position it right centered, and then we're going to lay it down. Then we're going to take our ends and fold it up. I'm going to show you with a piece of Scotch tape for those that may not have tear and tape or the Stampin' Seal. You're going to take your Scotch tape and you're just going to hold it and tape it down like so. Okay. Now if you're using your tear and tape, or your Stampin' Seal Plus, just put a piece there. Then you're going to make sure you're lined up even across the middle, and you're going to wrap, and then it's going to hold it down. Now you would put your adhesive, your glue, your liquid adhesive, or in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and just use my Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm gonna go over what I used with Scotch tape. I'm gonna go over my ribbon. Didn't get a piece here. Oops. Making sure I don't go beyond my score lines. Okay, that's really sticky. Do not go past your score lines. And then I'm just going, need to make, went past it a little bit. Then we're just going to close it. And then this piece, your front, will fold back on it. Fold back. So there it kind of looks like a book. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and glue our inside piece down. And your the ink blended will be at the top. And now we're going to center this. It's going to be roughly a little less than 1/8 of an inch on the sides and the top and bottom. And then that's it for the inside and the binding part. Again, this I believe is called a book bind fold. Then we'll snip our ends when we're all done. Let me check my sound. The inside. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now for this piece here, the Daffodil Delight here, the embossed pieces, they're going to be popped up. And I just noticed I didn't line this up properly. But the edge of the Daffodil Delight is just barely going to hang over your designer series paper. Okay? So what I would recommend is dry fitting. Lay your designer series paper down so you can kind of see where the placement is, and you get your top and your sides lined up. Kind of where you want them, like so. Okay. My top and my bottom is just barely hanging over the designer series paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and move these aside, but then I'm gonna take, just because it's easier for me to glue it, but you can go ahead and now, if you have a pencil, which I do have a pencil somewhere in here because I used it yesterday. Okay, you're gonna just draw a line at the top and at the bottom. So then when you remove it, you have a line that you're gonna line your paper up with. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. I just held it and glued one side of my paper and then the other side. But it's probably best to mark it. Need to bring my light down a hair so I could see. So here are my lines. I'm going to line my bottom and the top, but I'm going to be cautious of my sides here, so my paper gets so it's not crooked. And lined up. I'm lined up on the top and lined up on the bottom. You don't even need to erase your pencil mark, because remember, our Daffodil Delight is going to it's going to cover it a hair. So we're going to go ahead and flip over our embossed pieces, and then we're going, I put 6 dimensionals because it's embossed and I wanted it to be sturdy. So I put down the ends and in the middle. And I did this on both pieces. You could probably get away with just 3, but I wanted to be extra safe. So I would like to have you guys post your cards on my Facebook page, on our group page. And I'm pushing in the centers because that kind of helps pop them up, so it's easier to release the paper, release paper. And I'll do a drawing before I mail out the next packet of cards. And if you participate in August and you won July, your prize will be with your card pack. Otherwise, I will mail it to you separately. Okay, now we're just going to release the paper. This little poker tool came from my crafty friend Elda. She mailed it to me. It says Craft Life. It's so beautiful, so pretty. It's something I'll keep and treasure forever and ever. Okay, so now we are going to place these, remember, just a smidgen over the designer series paper, lining up our sides. Don't press down until you have it exactly where you want it, and then the adhesive will hold tight to the paper. Otherwise, you won't be able to reposition it. So I got that where I wanted it. It's just a smidgen over the edge, and my sides are lined up. Okay, my borders are pretty equal. Now I'm going to do the same with the top, lining up my sides, just a smidgen over, like so. And then I'm going to press it down. Now, the fun part. Now you could choose what sentiment you would like for the inside and the outside. So if you want to make it another birthday card, you could put time to celebrate. And then on the inside, you could put happy birthday. If you want it to be a retirement card, you could put good luck. You could put just if you miss someone, there's thanks a lot. You could put lots of love. Always here for you. Hello. Hooray. And there's so many. So let's see. Congratulations. On the outside, good luck on the inside. So I made 3 of these already. That says thanks a lot. So I'm thinking I think I'm gonna do hi there, and then you're simply incredible, or you're the absolute best on the inside, and then it could be either a thank you card or just a hello card. So I'm gonna glue this flat down like so. And then you're going to take your bling, take your little butterfly, put it down here. It's just glued down. And then add your other pieces to the top. And then take the piece that you want on the inside. And I'm going to put this one on dimensionals. Just line it up like so, and that's it. So that is card number 3. Oh, let's snip our ends of our tails. Like so. There. Now we are complete with card number 3. So this is what the inside would look like. I thought adding a little bit of the yellow behind it made it pop, gave it a different look. Here's the thanks a lot. And then you have these pieces for another card. All right, everyone. Thanks again for being patient with me. Please like the video so I have a chance of popping up in someone's news feed or their feed for Facebook or YouTube. Make sure you post your cards. Leave a comment to help me grow this page. And yeah, if you're interested in taking my final spot for my Kit Together, which is the last Saturday of August, here from 11 a.m. to 1. Should only take us a couple hours for just some fellowship and in-person get together and a little bit of crafting. Everything is included. All you need to do is just bring your pretty little self. All right, ladies, thank you so very much. And again, I appreciate your patience with this learning curve of YouTube. But have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy crafting your cards and make sure you post pictures. Bye, everyone.